Yes sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and today we are back with another VQ buying related video, I guess you could say. And right now I got the G35 just parked up for the winter. Currently got the Altima, killing it as a daily, can't complain so far. But what I wanted to do in today's video is just inform you guys on what is the easiest and cheapest way to get into the VQ game. Now, if you guys have been subscribed for a while, you will know that I've had a couple of VQs come and go in my lifetime. And in all honesty, the initial reason that I decided to stick with VQs in the first place is simply because of the bang for your buck that you get with these cars. Now, for instance, I'm here with my 2005 Nissan Altima and my 2004 G35. Both have the VQ35DE, which is what we're going to be talking about specifically in this video. And simply because this motor, in my opinion, still holds its weight against a lot of cars that are coming out still on the market. Now, it's a tough game, especially with a lot of the hot hatches, the ST lineup, you know, the Civic Type Rs and stuff like that. But nonetheless, these cars, for the money, are a good bang for your buck as far as the power that you're getting. Now, of course, if you guys really wanted a cheap VQ and you didn't care about the power, you could go for the 2002 or older Nissan Maximas. They have the VQ 30, if I'm not mistaken, and really reliable cars as far as longevity goes, but just don't have that top end power that you're gonna get from a VQ. So specifically in this video, I'm gonna be going over the easiest and cheapest way to get into a VQ35, and in today's video it's specifically going to be the DE version of that motor. So the cheapest car, in my opinion, as you guys can probably already guess, is what I'm standing beside right here. This is a 2005 Nissan Altima 3.5 SE. Now, they started making these cars in 2002, and they basically just went ahead, redesigned everything else as the years went on. And the great thing about the Nissan Altima is they made a lot of these cars, so they're really easy to find. Most people who buy these cars don't really beat on them all that much. Of course, those of us who know what the engine can do will definitely beat the living hell out of any one of these cars that we own. But if you look around for, I would recommend getting the 05 to the 06. That will give you the VQ35DE motor, the same motor you're gonna find in a Nissan Maxima, same motor you're gonna find in a G35, and the same motor you're gonna find in a 350Z. Now, if you look around, you can get a really good deal on one of these cars with low kilometers. I'd say for something around 100,000 miles, look to pay anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 for something that's half decent. Now, you can get these cars relatively cheap if you don't mind buying a car that has high miles. Now, I personally have seen these VQ motors go all the way up to 300,000-400,000, which with original cats, but obviously that depends on, you know, how bad you're gonna beat on these cars. This one right here has about 235,000 kilometers, which is like around 140,000 miles, and it does run great. Original catalytic converters. I don't really beat on this car too much because I know it's getting high up there, so I just kind of baby it, but it gets great gas mileage. But when I need to, I can still step on the gas, downshift, and this thing brings me sort of the same excitement as I'd get out of my G35. Now, if you guys are interested in a little bit more than just the speed, then I would definitely consider getting a 2003 to 2004 G35 first generation, and that's what I have right here. This is my 04 G35, and the reason that I ended up buying this car initially when I got it is because I kind of wanted to switch a little bit from just drag racing and stuff at the track and maybe get into drifting a little bit more, which is something I'm hoping to do next summer because I really have been babying this car for the last few years, and I think it's about time that I actually started driving it. But this right here, if you're looking for that rear wheel drive, real sports car feel, still with the same motor as the Altima, same horsepower, all that good stuff, then definitely start looking at one of these. Now this one in particular is a sedan. I would recommend looking for the sedans because they're definitely much cheaper. They're gonna be a little bit more difficult to find with the 6-speed transmission, which is what I have on this car. But if you don't mind getting an auto and you just want, like, you know, a nice VQ with the sound, a little bit of drifting action, the automatics aren't terrible transmission. Some of you guys might remember I did have the auto G35 a couple winters ago. We had a good time on it, blew it up at the track, and those cars in particular with the automatic transmissions, you can pick those up anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 with high kilometers all day, every day, and the engines themselves are gonna last a long time. The one thing you really got to watch out for when you're buying a high kilometer VQ would be obviously the automatic transmission, if that's the route you decided to go, as well as the catalytic converters breaking down are something that in my opinion has happened to this car and my previous Altima that you guys who've been watching for a while know, my black Altima. That one I ended up having to get the high flow pre-cat specifically because the catalytic converters were starting to break down. Obviously the Infiniti is going to have a bit of a premium on price and parts, but to be honest, to put these two cars side by side on a lift, they're pretty much the same idea, both relatively easy to work on. And to be honest, this car it's never really let me down. I think one time the clutch line blew, and that was the only time that it ever had to get towed in the history of me owning it, which next year will probably change big time because I'm going ahead and jinxing myself right now. The reason that I recommend the Altima over, let's say, a Maxima is because these things, I feel like there were just a lot more of them made. I feel like they're a little bit cheaper. People don't really expect them to be as luxurious as the Nissan Maximas, and the Maximas do have a couple extra features that the Altimas don't come with, but these things are just really cheap to buy because so many people have them, and a lot of people who bought the V6 or just don't necessarily know what the car is and know how the engine can perform, so the whole life of the car has just been babied and stuff like that by people who drive normally when they get out on the roads, unlike some of us. And yeah, that gives you a good opportunity to you know, jump in there, get you into something that's going to be nice, fast, and comfortable. And yeah, the Maximas I find are just a little bit more expensive and a little harder to find. The 2002 to 2003 Maximas, the 5th gen, probably my favorite Maxima, but good luck trying to find one of those without rotting the rear fender. So yeah, that is my opinion. If you guys are looking to get into the VQ game, something cheap but still fast, good bang for your buck, and something that's not going to break the bank when it does break down, I would go for the 05 to 06 Nissan Altima or the 03 to 04 Infiniti G35 sedan. Like I say, it's wintertime out here. It's getting a little cold, actually. My fingers are starting to get a little numb, so I think I'm going to go inside, edit this video. So I got a couple ideas for stuff that we can do over the winter time, but I'm not going to make any promises because I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. But yeah, as always, stay tuned. Lots more content coming. And I'm thinking that's about it, man. So as always, I'm your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and we're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one.